good.
I
particularly liked the shine.
I love those glasses. Ready.
Oh, I was like, you got the little glare off the back of your head.
Oh, that's okay. I'm proud of my hair.
Good afternoon or good evening. Today is August 10th, Monday, 6 p.m. This is a regular city council meeting. We're beginning our meeting at exactly 6 p.m. We will start today's meeting with call to order and roll call. Our city secretary, Megan Tanton, will please begin.
Candace Blake, Councilmember Place 1. Good. Hannah Ballou, Councilmember Place 4.
Here.
Harvey Davis, City Treasurer.
Here.
Tom Lemon, Councilmember Place 5. Tony Valdez, Councilmember Place 3.
We're here.
Christine Doan, City Manager.
Present.
Lydia Bryan Valdez, Mayor.
Present.
Rose McCorkle, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which is stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes.
Next, we'll have public comments. The first person to submit a public comment is our Mayor Emeritus and current Treasurer Harvey Davis. Sir, you have the floor.
I have 3 items.
Okay.
And if you hear my 3 items, you're gonna kind of think of that. So first item is that Friday, August 28th, there's from 4 to 6 p.m. There's an event honoring Boyd Doggett at Zilker Park, and it's also honoring Bill Oliver, who's a legendary troubadour. So if anybody would like any information on here, I can send you a flyer. Second item, this is really crazy, but interesting. Got some statistics from the State Board of Public Accountancy. And they said that since they started licensing for CPAs in 1915, there've been 133,560 licensed people.
Wow.
And when I got my license in 1978, I was number 19,006.
Wow.
Means
Wow.
since 1978 till now, there's been like 115,000. Let's say not bad stuff. 115,000 more. So the PAs are coming like a dozen. The oldest CPA is 102 years old, but the oldest practicing, meaning they're doing continuing education, and I'm not a practicing one, is 98 years old.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Somebody still doing. They're like 40,300 males, 38,300 females. There's almost equilibrium, but I looked at, they had a picture of the CPAs that have been licensed for 50 years. They do that every year, and they had this nice picture. And I counted them, it was 28 males and 4 females. So won't be long till it will exceed demand as far as licensing. So I know y'all will find that, found that interesting. The third thing is, this is the best, kind of the best part of the year because summer's ending. We can look forward to at least cooler mornings, and the football season, college football season is about to start. And a really neat game is going to be the first game between Texas State and Texas on September 5th. And that, of course, gives Texas State a chance for one of the great upsets in college football. So I was thinking about that, about really unusual college football upsets. And I remember not too far back, Oklahoma beat Texas A&M 77-0. That was in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. But Texas State, when they first got from like AA to a regular, not a regular, but a Division I type team, their first game, they beat University of Houston 30-13. So that was a big upset for our friends at Texas State. They were a 35-point underdog. So, and then another Texas team, UTEP, beat BYU in 1985, the year before BYU had won the national championship. And so that was a great upset. But of course, the probably the best known upset was when Appalachian State beat Michigan on a last second field goal, first game of the year, 100,000 people expecting Michigan to like just
Light them up.
beat them bad. And they won that upset, and they also upset Texas A&M. And that was pretty neat. Another one was New Mexico State beating Auburn. That was not too long ago. And actually, New Mexico State coach got a big coaching job. I forget where, but that was, I remember watching that game, and it was just, they just beat them really bad. But my favorite one, of course, is 1984, when SMU tied Texas A&M. This was the last year before, you had to win the game in a overtime. And Texas A&M their record was 10 wins and 1 tie. So they were going to have their perfect season, but they lost they tied SMU 21-21. SMU was still in the throes of the death penalty. They didn't win any conference games, and they won 1 game that year and 1 tie. But they tied Texas A&M. So, anyways, those are my little comments. Had nothing to do with the agenda, but
Much appreciated.
we'll be all good.
Thank you. So everybody, September 5th, Texas State versus UT.
So I've got 2 alma maters.
Yeah, I was
That's right.
for a while too.
Right.
It was great.
So we don't have anyone else? Oh, Thomas, did you give us the form?
Later.
Okay,
They signed it.
go right ahead, sir. Thomas is second.
As always, we want to thank the city, the council for the time and effort that they spend to oversee and solve the many problems for water, roads, development for small city. I am asking the council to make a decision on code enforcement and how they intend to do it. The problems we are experiencing with large amounts of trash, illegal vehicles and misuse of easements is not going to go away, and it just continues to get worse. Majority of the citizens in the city of Hays take care of their property and are respectful of our shared environment. But sadly, there continues to be too many neglected properties that create problems for all of us. It is the council's responsibility and duty to enforce these existing codes. Immediate and decisive action is needed and a solution must be put into place. The cost of hiring Hayes County to enforce codes is a small amount when you consider the loss of real estate values and loss of enjoyment of all of our homes by the lack of the code enforcement. There are companies that do this kind of work. I can't do.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments? No? Okay. The next item on the agenda, take action to approve the minutes for the meeting on July 13th, 2026. Has everyone reviewed their minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written or amended, as anyone said in amendment, so.
Do we have a second motion? Hannah, thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments, discussion about the minutes before we call a vote? Do you have any questions about the minutes for July? Okay, all those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. The next item on the agenda, receive updates and take appropriate action to approve the financial report for June 2026 and July 2026. Christine Doan, you have a report.
I'm gonna share my screen so that we can look at the financial report together. The July financial report is still being prepared, so we're gonna be taking a look at June. Here is our financial report. So a few observations. Funds in Broadway Bank and Textbowl total $1,874,725. Our expenses exceeded our revenues by $22,765. The city paid Freeland Park Engineering a total of $10,137. Of that total, $6,900 was a pass-through charge for an electrical subconsultant related to the Tatum generator project. The city also paid Ardura $4,420 for grant administration services for the Tatum generator project. So lots of Tatum related charges. Something else I wanted to call attention to is that we also paid Advanced Water Well Technologies $1,973 for a pressure test. This pressure test was needed to complete the design for the Elliott Ranch filter project that is ongoing. So that was another one of our larger expenses this month. And then of course, if this is approved and accepted by the council, it'll be signed and posted on the website. Do we have any questions?
Yes, sir.
And the $22,000, that's for the month of June, right?
Yeah, yes, sir, it is.
Question, the
Yes.
payment to the grant company, the Ardura, is that a one-time payment? Or will there be another payment later on?
There will likely be an additional payment. So we pay them, I believe it's twice a year.
Okay,
Because I do remember paying them at the end of last year, and it's as they're completing the work for us. Yes,
Nothing to add to.
But that's reimbursable.
correct. Yes, that's
Okay.
reimbursable.
for the
you know,
grant,
The management.
Right. Some of these engineering fees as well will be reimbursable.
okay, that's good to know, thank you.
Yeah.
Good question. Does anyone else have any questions?
Nope. Okay. Questions?
Next,
Would you like to approve the financial report?
okay.
Or take a vote to approve the financial report?
Does anyone have a motion, please? To approve
Motion that we approve the financial report for June
for June, okay?
26 and what in July too, right? July 2026.
Just
June.
this one's just
Just
June.
June.
Oh, this is
July is
just
still
June.
being prepared.
Oh, okay. It's on here.
I second that.
Second, All those in favor, please? Unanimous? Thank you. The next item we have is consider and take appropriate action regarding Barton Springs Edwards Aquifer Conservation District, VSCACD customer water fees. Treasurer Davis, you have the floor, sir.
So, we have had a committee that has reviewed this issue. And, as you know, we're charging water customers 0.17 cents a gallon, a thousand, each 1,000 gallons for it to be reimbursed from the Aquifer District. And we, concluded that in order to collect enough money to be reimbursed for those fees, the amount should be 0.57. So we're recommending that the council increase the fee to 0.57 per 1,000 gallons. And, that would be subject to confirming with our city attorney that the increase in fees, we've taken the proper steps to do that. Thank you. Yes, sir.
So the total fee for that water fee 1.57
0.57.
and not point. And we pay a water fee now per gallon, which is 5,000 gallon is 1.07.
No, 0.17.
0.17. And we're gonna increase it to 0.57
Yeah.
Per 1,000 gallons.
per 1,000 gallons. Okay,
Yes.
Rose?
And I don't have the figure right here in front of me, and that's because we don't make that money up, and it's just a cost right out of our. We're
Correct.
right. We don't get that. We don't get that money from anywhere. We're just paying it straight cash out.
right, right.
All right.
Just for a little bit of context, so VSEACD charges us, based on our permit that we have with them. That does not change. We get that fee quarterly. What's currently happening is that PGMS has it set up to charge the same amount to our customers, 17 cents per 1,000 gallons, based on their usage. So we are not using the total amount that we actually can or allowed through our permit. So that's where this deficit has been created. Something else I wanted to touch on is that increasing it to 0.57, 57 cents per 1,000 gallons. That's just going to get us to the baseline so that in the next fiscal year, we will not be having this large deficit. That will not be recouping any of our funds. The difference in water bills for residents is going to be minor, with the vast majority seeing less than a $5 increase. So we've had a lot of conversation about this, a lot of workshopping, but it really is going to be a very minor difference when it comes down to each resident.
That's correct.
Thank you so much, sir. Does anyone have any questions regarding the VSEACD rate increase from 0.17 to 0.57 per 1,000 gallons of consumption? Council member, Mayor Pro Tem. Do you have any questions, sir? Okay, and we have a motion. Entertain a motion for the increase.
I make a motion that we accept the proposed increase on the water fees.
For VSEACD.
Yes, for BS.
It's going from 0.17 to 0.57 per 1,000 gallon. Yes,
May I make a request that we include that the motion include a contingency upon approval from our
yes,
attorney?
yes, absolutely.
Oh, With the contingency that we receive approval.
Thank you.
from our
Once it
attorney.
goes through legal, our city attorney, yes.
And the motion.
Thank you. All those in favor? Now, it's passed 5-0, and of course, this is contingent upon legal review and approval by our city attorney. And thank you, everyone who worked on this. Treasurer Davis, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am, you have
Yeah,
a
I
question?
have a question.
Okay.
So what was the rate and what is it
It
going to
was
be?
0.17 per 1,000 gallons. It's going to be 0.57 per 1,000 gallons. And it passed 5-0, and now we'll send it to our attorney tomorrow. Once it's approved, then we'll go ahead and send it to PGMS. Correct? Do you have any other comments? Okay, thank you. The next item, take appropriate action on request to hold 2 public hearings September 9th, 2026. The first on the fiscal year 2027 proposed budget, and the second on the fiscal year 2027 proposed tax rate of 0.0947 per $100 valuation. This will be doing the same increase percentage as we had last year. The budget committee, give me 1 second. Oh, we have the document here. Thank you so much. We're getting used to have our new tech. Candace, if you'd like to turn, you can see our new tech, which is wonderful. And we even have a pointer to go up. Mayor, Treasurer Davis, would you like to do this? Or would you like for us to? I'll gladly give you the floor since you have the pointer
Yeah.
to explain this as our treasurer. Thank you so much.
This is the proposed tax rate, which would bring to the city $26,515. The no new revenue tax rate of 0.088. That is the tax rate that could be adopted that would collect the same amount that we collected last year. And so you can see last year is 24,663. And the no new tax rate would be 24,664. The voter approved tax rate, that would be a 3.5% increase in the tax rate. So that would be almost $1,000 more. But we're able to, because of the size of our city, you know, this is like City of Austin or Buda, they're limited to this. But because we're small, we can use what's called the de minimis tax rate, which means the tax rate that you collect at least $500,000 plus the non-new tax rate amount. So we could adopt up to that amount, which would solve a lot of financial problems, but you know, that would be like the tax rate you're paying for your school taxes. So the proposed tax rate is 0.0947. That would bring in $1,851 more than this figure, I'm pretty sure. And it is a 7.5% increase in the tax rate. And it's the same thing we did last year. We did increase it above the 3.5% voter approved tax rate, but not that much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You have a copy.
Thank you for all of your hard work on that. This is a breakdown of our proposed budget, and yes, we can send you a copy if you'd like. Oh, yes, of course. It has been posted already, is that correct, Megan?
Yeah.
It's been posted to the website? Yes.
One,
And
budget officer, the mayor sent it to Megan, our city secretary. It's legally made available for public inspection. This is on our website.
It's been posted on the board. You
Um,
can post it on the board.
Okay, we'll get them on the board as well.
so it's on the website, it's going on the bulletin boards. We're also posting it in the Hayes Happenings as well. Do you know when it's gonna be published there? And I'm sorry, not the Hayes Happenings. Aren't we publishing it as well in,
Well,
Right.
this needs to be voted on.
okay, and then we'll publish it.
Yeah.
Okay, so all those in favor of our proposed, yes, please?
Yeah, I was gonna say yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm voting.
Do you have any questions regarding the budget or any of the line items?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll ask for a motion first for the tax rate for the proposed 2026-2027 proposed tax rate.
The agenda item to
Hold a hearing.
Okay,
request
is to hold the hearings, okay?
public hearings, yeah.
Okay, so then the agenda item is for. We still need approval to hold the hearings, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, then the motion to hold the hearings, please.
I make a motion that we hold the public hearing September 9th. Is that time 6? Is that what we've agreed upon?
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
be read at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
to discuss the budget and the tax rate.
Thank you. Do we have a second motion, please?
I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you.
What?
Oh, we're gonna
Oh, yeah,
stop
yeah,
for just.
right.
Yeah.
Obviously, to deliver some food. We'll move on to unfinished business, please. Consider and take appropriate action to plan a community event at City Hall. Councilwoman Blake, do you have an update for us?
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's fine.
it will be on the Hayes Happenings, which is gonna
Okay.
be done soon, now that I'm back from my trip, and then it'll go everywhere else too.
And it's going to coincide with the big trash day, the dumpster. It'll be here at City Hall. Right?
Dumpster will be, there will be a dumpster at City Hall this
And the other will still remain
Tanglewood.
untangled. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
And what, does anyone recall that date?
Yes.
17th of October.
October 17th and then
Thank you.
9 to 1,
Uh,
8 to 12.
8 to 12 for trash, but 10 to 1.
1 for lunch,
Is what we said, yeah,
Yeah.
10 to 1,
That's
for
right.
lunch and events.
yes. And that would be held at City Hall.
Okay, and at City Hall. Does anyone have any questions regarding that? Yes, please.
And then just a comment, I just wanted to comment that Dan Slovak with PDF has confirmed the date, Saturday, October 17th. And then just as a reminder, at the last meeting, the city council confirmed a not to exceed amount of $500. So
Right.
when we
Thank
get
you.
to the point of starting to purchase supplies for that.
For the $500 cap.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other comments?
What do we do about signage? I think we were talking about, like, we have the meeting signs. We could maybe just add to that somehow.
Okay. Print some paper signs and add them to those.
Yeah.
We could put them on our bulletin boards. We can put it on our website. We can do our page as well.
Up there when people drive in and out of the neighborhood. It's
Our social media
effective
page.
thing, yeah.
Do you
I
want to
agree.
start posting in September? 30 days prior, 3 weeks prior? When would you like to do that?
Well,
I think 1st of October around.
Yeah, look for.
And that's, the street signs need to be up for like at least a week and
Yes.
a half, I think,
Yes.
before, just because.
Okay.
So people can start thinking about gathering their
Right.
trash and
Yeah,
they need
Okay.
time to like cut their branches or do whatever they're gonna do.
Okay, so at least a week and a half on the yard signs per se,
Yeah,
and then posting the bulletin boards, updating social media, updating the city page to
early,
get it.
yeah.
Okay, at least 2 weeks. Okay. Anything else on that? Thank you for the update. Does anyone else have any questions regarding that event? No. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
The next item is discuss and take appropriate action on street repairs to Live Oak Lane and the City Hall driveway. I spoke to City Attorney, Mr. Katz. Our engineering firm, Freeland and Trick Engineering, had requested initially to do these projects separately for all the reasons that for procedures to follow procurement rules and what have you. We have to, and it is the right thing to do. We're going to bundle them and then post them. We have to do 2 separate postings, certain number of days apart. Freeland and Trick Engineering will do the posting. I spoke to Melanie Norris today. Just to get caught up. We have a couple of things. I passed out a graph. What do you call this? A graph, a drawing, a plan, and it's something that the verbiage is concept of a plan is what we're calling it. Freeland and Trick, this is the survey of our driveway currently with the modifications. So as you can see, this is the entrance of the driveway. It seems like it's a little crooked because it is. It's currently crooked. It has holes. It's in need of dire need of repair. We're going to invest the money in our city of Hayes driveway to make it ADA compliant as well for all of our guests or residents who need to come and do business with the city. The drawing, if you see the drawing on the right, that would be the driveway. On the right side, that's one ADA parking. That's one ADA parking space. If you look at the drawing around it, so if you have the pointer, right. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, so that is the parking space. And I asked, well, why not face it towards to City Hall? And of course, the reason for that is a very good reason is so that someone comes in, drives in straight through, takes the right, parks in that ADA parking space. When they want to leave, across from it, which is the area with the zigzags on the left, sir,
The left.
on the left, they'll be able to reverse into that and then go forward to exit forward instead of having to reverse all the way back. So that's going to be a reserved turnaround area. The one on the right. Thank you so much, Treasurer Davis. And the spot that has the lines right next to it on the right side where the wheelchair access is so that someone can exit the vehicle, come around, and that will be a sidewalk to enter into front door of City Hall. Now, this is going to be an improvement to our city. It's, and I believe very much needed, as all government offices should have access. Everyone with ADA should have access to the building. What we're going to need to do as a separate fee is we're going to need to pull back right here, the tree line, sir. The tree line right there, that line, right along the fence line. On the fence line a little bit further to your left, all that. We're gonna need to trim those bushes because if you want to park, your car can get scratched. You have people have trouble getting on and off the car. Right? I like my truck without all the scratches. And so we're gonna trim the trees. We had waited because of the oak wilt and things like that. I really wanted to do it months ago, and Christine's like, there's timeline to do it, and Rose did too. We cannot do it right now. No. And thank you, Hannah. So we waited very patiently. We are going to do it before the crew comes to get this done. And as I mentioned, I spoke to Melanie today. Mr. Valdez, who is a professional engineer, had reviewed this and had all types of engineering questions for me and said, this is not correct, this is not right. He always has this red pencil and just redlining lots out of it instead of we don't have enough information. And when I spoke to Melanie and she says, well, he's absolutely right. I said, don't tell him. Whatever you do, don't tell Tony he's right. Don't tell him. I have to live with that. But, and she said, this is the survey. This is why it looks like this. Because I said, why would we build a new driveway and it's all crooked like this? Can it just be straight? And she says, yes, this is what you currently have. This is what we're proposing to do all the way up here. This is what it's going to look like. But of course, we're going to make it straight. We're going to push back these, just trim these trees so that everyone will be able to park accordingly. Technically, we'll be losing a spot, but we'll be gaining because we'll be able to park here. So what I mentioned to her, I said, I'm not going to approve it today. I'm going to approve it tomorrow. If City Council says, I like it, we're on board, we want to continue with this. The next step for this is that she's going to then give us all the specs that Tony says are required before we go to bid package. And that's how much, what type of soil, what type of this, what type of that, how much mill and overlay, how long is it going to take? Well, all of these other things, the engineers will say, yes, I want to bid on it. This is exactly what we need to do. Everything that they need to bid on has to be in there. Providing every council member here says, yes, this is what we agreed to, then I would say tomorrow to Freeland Turk, Melanie Norris, who's our assigned engineer. She's been excellent to work with. Everyone here has a wonderful rapport with Melanie. She's been very responsive and very helpful to us. So if you say yes, that we do agree, we do want this done, then we'll go to the next level, the next step in the process, which is that complete bid package, which shows all the specs and what have you. I told her, if you do that, if council approves today for us to go forward to the next phase in this process, then by the next city council meeting on September 9th, then we'll have a package for you that says, here's exactly what we want. Here's what we're going to have done. And then we're going to go to bids. I have asked her, I said, I'm familiar with the state procurement process. Tony's familiar with both the state and the county process. And normally we would go, you have an option to do best value. You have an option to do best price. Sometimes you'll say, I know that company, they've done work for the state before or the county before. And you have a right to choose. You can say, I choose on this or that. Their choice, and that's something that we would do also, What they like to do is they like to say they want to go with the lowest, most responsible bidder. And so it's not lowest bid, because I am once like, oh, lowest bid, sometimes you don't get the best work for the lowest price. But she said, no, they go to lowest, most responsible bid with references, with history, checking all of their credentials, checking all the work and things like that, which is good for us to have. And so I am pleased with that answer. And so she called it here, lowest responsible bidder versus competitive sealed. The competitive sealed, you would have to go with the lowest value or what have you, the lowest cost. They recommend lowest responsible. They'll vet the contractors through project experience and references. And they need 2 weeks of consecutive newspaper advertisement. They will post to, it's called Civcast for online bidding. They host one online pre-bid meeting and a bid opening. I did ask her that we would like to be involved in that. One of us or several of us will go to the meeting for that. They're gonna do currently, and I did want to ask Tony about that, the material testing and sampling that wasn't included in the scope. Their opinion is that it's not necessary for this type of work because it's asphalt, but they don't need to do it. It's not a highway or bridge.
As long as they buy it, the material comes from the proof source,
Right.
it's fine.
And so that would just add additional fees and time and things like that. They said for this type. So we will have a Gantt soon, which is our preferred thing for tracking the project. If y'all have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them. Either I or Christine or Megan will have the information for you. Does anyone have any questions?
So will the, under the carport also be designated as ADA or like not officially or unofficially, or no, that will just be regular parking?
That's a good question.
I would say we could unofficially use it for that because that was one of the, we received a few different concept designs for the ADA parking. Some of them are a little not at all what we were anticipating. There was like one where all of the front yard is paved. And we're like, whoa.
We're like, they're not gonna want
We
that.
asked, can we just, right now, we currently use the carport. Can we just keep that? And they said that to do that, we would have to move the beams of the carport further out
Yeah.
because there's like legal.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
that
For
there's
loading and
a
unloading
distance.
of
Mhm.
the equipment.
So it could be unofficial, but that would be
It
the
can-
official. So we would have legally like one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
another question. And I think you and I kind of
Yes.
mentioned this earlier.
Rose and I did a walkthrough of the property this afternoon
Yeah,
around 5
that-
o'clock.
This ramp out here, I don't think is truly ADA.
It is absolutely
compliant.
not compliant.
Is that
right?
something we could ask them to do, or how?
They
would
don't
we
do
go about
that.
it?
That's something that we would have to do separately. Now, we are gonna take one part of this brush right here on the far right. When Rose and I walked the property here in the front part today, and Rose knows a lot about trees and different kinds of trees. I said, we're gonna take all of these things, we're gonna cut them back. She said, well, you can't do that one just yet. You can't do that one.
Could go
You can't
today.
do that one. You can't do that one. You can't do that one. So she knows all about these native trees. And so we walk that. One of these is gonna have to go just so that the sidewalk is gonna come up to here. I know for a fact that that is not where it needs to be. If you were to ride up with an electric wheelchair, a manual, that bump to get up and down, both there, and there. They had good intentions when they did it. They didn't do it right. So it's gonna need to be redone at some point. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Just I
Yeah.
guess to say, okay, this can be done, but there's still a little more work that'll have to be done.
Right, it's a gradual
Make it compliant.
process. It's a gradual process. We're improving over time and as the funds are available.
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Give
It
it a little ramp to it,
already has a little ramp.
just extend it,
It's just the wrong.
just
yes.
rebuild it right.
It's the beam of the door. It's the beam. of the
Yeah, but
door.
you can take the ramp from the door edge and all that.
We'll have to bid that. Yes, ma'am.
I did just have a comment. This item is, of course, for Live Oak Lane and City Hall.
Right, I'm gonna get to that.
Been discussing the
Right.
driveway.
I'm gonna go to Live Oak next.
Right, okay. That's what I was gonna say. Basically, those plans are complete
Yes,
and ready for bid.
yes. Now, the Live Oak plans are ready, as Christine mentioned, and thank you for that. Because we're going to do them together, because of procurement rules, because of we are a city, a general lobby city, and we're procuring it over, anything over 100,000 because the scope was comparable, we could not do it separate. It would have been a time saver and what have you to do them separately. But we're going to procure them correctly as advised by our attorney. We made sure every single thing is done procedurally correct for the city of Hayes. And so one is already ready. The other is pending the next round of this bid packaging process. In September, we'll have both for you. And then in October, November is when the clock will start. September. By November, we should have it. The hope was to do the work in October, shovel the dirt shovel the dirt will start in November. After that. Yes, ma'am.
So I believe the engineers are awaiting directive, right? Or will you?
Yes, I spoke to Melanie today, and based on what our council members say today, then tomorrow we'll say council is in agreement with the plan. They want us to go forward, prepare the next part of the package.
Are we looking for a motion? for
Yes.
Approving the updated
Yes,
ADA accessible.
we are.
plans?
We are.
I make a motion that we.
Thank you.
approve
Thank you, Hannah.
ADA, design for City Hall.
Thank you. Do we have a second, please? Thank you, sir. All those in favor, please. Thank you. We're eager to have both ready so we can go on to the next one. The next item is receive updates and take appropriate action on the construction of well number 3 on Country Lane. I have good news for you. Christine and I have good news for you. Megan too. I called Zach today, and of course, Christine put it in my task list. Don't forget to call Zach. And so I called Zach today and had a nice conversation with him. And I said, Zach, couple of things. When are we going to go live with well number 3? And we would like to photo op so that we can show our residents. We've been waiting for so long. And he says, my team's going to be out there tomorrow. I said, okay, not tomorrow, because we need to get our team in place. I said, but soon we want to have that photo op. Someone from PGMS will be there. We would love for our entire team to be there. We want to take a picture for our next Hayes Haps. Not tomorrow's, but the next one is when, Candace?
Well, there should be one coming out August.
Okay.
It shouldn't be out now, really, early
Okay.
August, but it's okay.
You're gonna do it mid to late, or are you gonna, so we can do a picture? Do you wanna hold it, or do you wanna put it out and then?
Is there urgent? There's really anything
No,
urgent, so we
no,
could
no.
hold it for another week or so.
Okay.
That's fine for the
Okay.
picture.
But the tax stuff.
The tax
we
stuff is,
announced here.
yeah, but that's a September meeting, so that, I
Right,
mean, it's gotta be enough time for people to consider it. Sure.
All right.
But, yeah, I
okay,
think if it's out, say within a week and a half or something from now.
okay. A week and a half, so we'll do it within the next
Like by the
week. We
end
can
of
have that
next
come
week,
out.
The end of,
Well,
of this next week.
okay, so then either anytime late this week, weekend, or early next week, Megan or Christine will coordinate calendars for us to have a photo op, maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at the well. And are you in class?
No, not till following Monday.
Okay, great. So possibly later this week?
Yes, Thursday, late in the afternoon, Wednesday early, or anytime on Friday.
Okay. If y'all will check calendars so that we could provide PGMS a time, maybe by Wednesday, we could decide if it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We can take a picture. The good thing is, and that's for the Hayes Happenings, the good thing is when I spoke to Zach, he said, well number 3 is on. Your water's coming out of well number 3. And we said, it's our belief that they're supposed to rotate. 2 and 3 are supposed to go back and forth and share. That's why we have a second well, which is well number 3. He goes, that was the plan. I turned on well number 3 and it is not allowing 2 to provide water. Well 3 has taken over. And we said, okay, well, that's an issue. And he says, yes, it is. So they're going to come out tomorrow. They have been doing all the testing required by TCEQ. Every 2 weeks, Aquatech has been taking the samples and they're sending them to TCEQ. Yes, ma'am.
I don't think you shared, what the good news was. So the well has
The
been,
well's on.
it's been conditionally approved by
Yeah.
TCEQ for you.
Yeah. And the well is on. Yeah. TCEQ approved it. The well has gone live. But now, he said it's a probe issue where he needs to have a probe. It's just a technical thing where both one needs to turn off, the other on, one off, the other on, so that they're working together in partnership. So they're going to come and take a look at it and let us know. Thank you. So that was very good news. That was very good news.
Yeah.
And then we'll,
This week, it would be great to do the picture or really early next week, but
you're back in class next week, right?
Not next week, following week,
Okay.
Monday of following.
well, I have company coming,
Okay, well, we'll send out an email.
so.
So maybe we'll send out an
Next
email
week.
tomorrow to coordinate everyone's schedule
Yeah.
and we can plan. We welcome everyone to be there for this. It's very important. Very important for us to have that. No, we would love for our residents to see all the hard
Yes.
work has paid off.
The times
I would even like for
Happy.
Don to come. I asked Freeland and Turk today and they said, well, don't hold off because if we're not there, but if they could, they would come.
That would be nice.
But if not, I would also like for Don to come. He was very much a part of that work. Helping us bring that well on. Does anyone have any questions about the item? Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Rose McCourt will receive updates and take appropriate action regarding the grant for new generators.
And there was
That's
no
H.
progress made. As you saw in the finances, we paid the grant servicer money for working on this grant. It is back to Tatum for the budget amendment to add funds to it, because it's been a while since the grant was initiated and now the costs are higher. And it's there from Tatum, it goes to the Fed and back down the chain to us. So there's nothing new happened. We're still waiting.
We're waiting for that
Holding.
amendment. Does anyone have any questions regarding the generators?
We have a timeline?
No.
Don't know.
No, I did ask. They said it could take months. It could take a year for the government to come back, for FEMA to come back with a response.
Doesn't Edom have to then go to FEMA?
Yes.
Right. Goes to
Oh.
the Feds, yeah.
FEMA is probably.
That they are the whole
Right.
It's the city to the grant to Tatum to FEMA. And now we're waiting for it to come back. It's all gone up. We're waiting for it to come back. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Receive updates and take appropriate action. Oh, receive updates, take appropriate action regarding the Hayes Commons development application to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to obtain permission to construct and operate a wastewater treatment facility within the city of Hayes, former ETJ. Hannah Baloo.
Oh, his name. So this was where there was a new scheduling order released.
Yes.
And it's being rescheduled till December. And I don't have the exact date because I forgot to
We
send
do.
myself in the email.
We have them.
Okay, it was in my email.
Yeah.
December
December 15th. Thank you.
So that's the new
Yes.
The new hearing date.
hearing date.
Yes. You have any?
Farm Christine.
Oh, it's 12 to-
Yeah, I have it here, one second.
That's all we can.
What?
12 to
This is
14.
the new scheduling order that,
There's a state office of administrative hearings.
the new procedural schedule was adopted.
15th to the 17th is the hearing.
So that's a Tuesday through Thursday.
Now, our city attorney is going to be working in partnership with Save Our Springs SOS in November to prepare for the hearing in December. And so we'll be receiving updates from him on that.
Yeah, because they'll also need to give feedback on December 8th and December 11th. Because
Correct.
it's all part of it.
Does anyone else have any questions regarding that? Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. Next is receive updates and take appropriate action on the Elliott Ranch well filter. The well filter, I have. Give me 1 second, the date. We approved the solicitation of the quotes for the Elliott Ranch well filter project on July 27th. Our engineer confirmed that they did receive it. They also said that they were going to have them this week. They're going to have bids for us. Do you have anything to add to that?
Sure.
Okay.
Bid solicitation began on July 28th. We will have a preliminary review of the bids by 8/14 with a tentative contract in September and then construction to begin in October. And then, as has been mentioned before, once construction begins, that is a pretty quick process. So if construction can begin in October as scheduled, then it will be completed before the end of the month.
Which we're really looking forward to having that done. Yes, sir.
How many bids do we get? Like,
They haven't revealed
Still
that yet.
open, right?
It's still open for bidding.
Close until tomorrow, actually, and then they'll be to us by the 14th for review.
There was a last day to accept this. Does anyone have any questions regarding our Elliott Ranch well filter project? Here? No? Okay, the next item is K, review and take action to approve an ordinance adopting a TMRS cost of living adjustment at 50% of the consumer price index for City of Hayes retirees. Mayor Pro Tem Rose McCorkle, please, you have the floor.
And last month we discussed this, if y'all recall, this is the ordinance that was written up by, TMRS staff, is that right, or it's called legal, so that we could pass the ordinance to allow that 50% COLA to come through for our previous and current employees. But this ordinance, I believe, has to be read into the minutes. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
And then we can make a motion to accept it or not, if I'm
Correct.
so I'm gonna read it, but it's long, so y'all bear with me. This is an ordinance regarding the city. I want to remind everyone first, this does not come at an extra cost to the city because it is.
Oh, here are the numbers for anyone who would like to see
Yeah.
the numbers behind you, Candace.
We already, the plan change won't cost the city anything extra because we have an excess of money in the account. So just to let you know that, and it does give our employees a cost of living adjustment, and any employee that has retirement, if they left it to their beneficiaries, would also benefit from this.
One employee,
Which
correct? We had one
be true.
person.
Yes, so if that is the case, it would also
Who has
apply for
passed.
those benefits.
We had one person who
Alright.
has deceased, who has perhaps a.
But it's good
That's
to
good.
know that if there's beneficiary, it would affect them.
Yes, sir.
Several deceased former employees, three.
Are still recipients? Are they still recipients?
No, we only had one
Fine.
active
I
member,
believe we only had one.
That's it.
and we're,
It's
since
passed.
that member recently passed, I'm unsure
Whether
what their
the-
beneficiary situation is.
If that were the case, that would apply to those benefits, so good to know. All right, so the 50% doesn't add anything to the budget for our city. And I'm gonna go ahead and read it all. An ordinance regarding the City of Hayes, Texas Municipal Retirement System benefits authorizing one, annually accruing updated service credits and transfer updated service credits, and two, annually accruing annuity increases, also referred to as cost of living or COLA adjustments for retirees and their beneficiaries. Whereas the City of Hayes, Texas elected to participate in the Texas Municipal Retirement System, I'm going to call it TMRS, pursuant to Title G of Title 8 Texas Government Code as amended, which is the TMRS Act. Whereas each person who is or becomes an employee of the city on or after the effective date of the city's participation in the system in a position that normally requires service of 1,000 hours or more per year, that employee shall be a member of the system as a condition of their employment. And whereas the city council finds that it's in the public interest, then that's the decision we're making, in accordance with TMRS Act 853.404 and 854.203, reauthorize annually accruing updated service credits and provide transfer of updated service credits in accordance with TMRS Act. I'm going to skip the act numbers. Do I need
Okay.
to read those
No,
out?
go ahead. We have a reference.
Okay.
Incorporated by reference.
Authorize annually accruing annuity increases referred to as COLAs, cost of living, for retirees and their beneficiary. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hayes, if we so choose to vote, authorize annually accruing updated service credits and transfer updated service credits as authorized by TMRS Act, the acts, and the terms and conditions set out in those acts. The city authorized each member of the system who was on the first day of January of the calendar year immediately preceding the January 1st of which the updated service credits will take effect has current service credits or prior service credit in the system by reason of service to the city, has at least 36 months of credited service with the system, and is a TMRS contributed employee of the city to receive this updated service credit, as that term is defined and calculated in accordance with TMRS Act by 853-402. The city authorizes it provides that each employee of the city who is eligible for the updated service credits under the subsection above, who has unfulfilled prior service credit or current service credit with another system participating in the municipality or municipalities by reason of previous employment, shall be accredited with updated service credit pursuant to and calculated in accordance with and subject to adjustments set forth by the TMRS Act 853602, known as Transfer of Service, USC, both to the initial grant and future grants under that ordinance. The updated service credit authorized and provided under this ordinance shall be 100% of the base updated service credit for the TMRS member, calculated as provided in those provisions. Each updated service credit authorized or provided by this ordinance shall replace any updated service credit, prior service credit, special prior service credit, or antecedent service credit previously authorized for part of the same service. This is a lot of jargon, but I think we're getting it. The initial updated service credit authorized for this section shall be effective on January 1st, immediately following the year of which this ordinance is approved, subject to receipt by the system prior to such January 1st and approval by the Board of Trustees of the system pursuant to the Act, TMRS Act. The authorization and grant of updated service credits in this section shall be effective on January 1st of each subsequent year, using the same percentage of the base updated service credit stated in the subsection C. Computing updated service credit for each future year, provided that as to the subsequent year, the actuary for the system has made the determination set forth to the TMRS Act until the ordinance ceases to be in effect as provided in that act. This is why non-attorney, this jargon. Authorization of annual increases in retirement annuities or COLAs. On the terms and conditions set out by TMRS Act, the city authorizes and provides for payment of those increases described in this section, to the annuities paid to retired city employees and beneficiaries of deceased city retirees. Such increases are called COLAs. An annually increase under this section replaces any annuity or increased annuity previously granted to the same person. The amount of the annuity increase under this section is computed as the sum of prior service and current service annuities on the effective date of retirement of the person on whose service the annuities are based, multiplied by 50%. And that's the number that was optional for us. Of the percentage changed in consumer price index for all urban consumers from December of the year immediately preceding the effective date of the person's retirement to the December that is 13 months before the effective date of the increase under this section. An increase in annuity that was reduced because of an option selection is reducible in the same portion and in the same manner that the original annuity was reduced. If a computation under this section does not result in an increase in the amount of the annuity, the amount of the annuity will not be changed under this section. The amount by which an increase under this section exceeds all previously granted increases to an annuitant is an obligation of the city and of its account in the benefit accumulation fund of the system. The initial increase in annuities authorized by this section shall be effective on January 1st, immediately following the year in which this ordinance is approved, subject to the receipt by the system prior to January 1st and the approval of the system's board. pursuant to the TMRS Act, an increase in retirement annuities shall be made on January 1st of each subsequent year, provided that as to such subsequent year, the activity for the system is made the determination set forth in the TMRS Act until the ordinance ceases to be in effect as provided by TMRS Act. That's what we're.
And if I make just
doing.
one minor correction, the actuary for the system has
Okay,
made the determination.
yes.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem. And so that line item was review and take action to approve an ordinance adopting a TMRS cost of living adjustment at 50% of the consumer price index for City of Hayes retirees.
And this is how the ordinance will read upon our.
Do we have a motion to accept?
I have to recuse myself on this vote.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
Make motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Do we have a second, and all those in favor, please? 4 yea, 1 recused. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Now,
Thank you so much. Mayor. The next item.
Next job, Rose.
Like, freaking eye contact for doing this.
Well, no, that, back now.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
have that one.
Okay, the next item, consider and take up, item is K, no, pardon me, is
Yeah,
L. Consider and take appropriate action regarding possible interlocal agreement, MOU, memorandum of understanding with Hayes County to enforce certain county rules within the city of Hayes. Christine Dawn has the floor. We have been researching options, and if you'll please provide that research thus far.
So the city of Hayes received a draft interlocal agreement from Hayes County. There was some back and forth about whether it would be a interlocal agreement or a memorandum of understanding. In the drafting phase, we were told, oh, it's going to be an MOU. We have now received the draft and they are recommending it be an actual interlocal. The interlocal agreement is quoting environmental enforcement services provided by Hayes County at $5,000 per month for a total of $60,000 annually. And again, this is for environmental enforcement, so that would not be full enforcement of our city code. That's extremely costly, especially for such a small city. You know, having 92 homes. That's pretty steep. But of course, it's up for council consideration. The mayor did respond to Mr. Burlad with Hayes County Development Services, asking if we could potentially, how we could bring down these costs, because that's obviously just an exorbitant cost for the city. She asked if we could do maybe a per enforcement charge. That was denied. She asked if there's anything we can do to bring the cost down, and they said, no, this is just what it costs for these sort of agreements. We have, Megan and myself have just been researching what other alternatives we may have. We've met with Rebecca Howe of San Leanna to inquire about their code enforcement process. We've met with we've reached out to Mountain City to inquire about their code enforcement process. And it seems to just be really challenging for cities to, you know, get code enforcement. San Leanna decided that they're going to be pursuing Chapter 54 lawsuits. So, I mean, they send out notices to try to get residents back into compliance. After repeated non-compliance, then they've determined that their best course of action would be actually filing a Chapter 54 lawsuit, which is a lawsuit regarding municipal ordinances. So that's what they're doing. Mountain City has an agreement with, I believe, the sheriff's department, and their city code is written in that many of their codes can be misdemeanors if they're not followed. So
They can what?
there could be a criminal misdemeanor. So someone could be charged with a criminal misdemeanor. It would no longer be a civil issue, it would be a criminal issue. So that's how they're going about it. And yeah, I think we're open to discussion.
I looked it all, if I may, real quick. I did also send my request, follow up the request. Once we received the document from Mr. Berlad with the $5,000 flat fee monthly, in which he says that the Hayes County charges to all cities which require an MOU for that type of ordinance, environmental ordinance. I said it covers mosquitoes, it covers all of these things. I said, can we do 3 months at a time? Can we do 6 months at a time? I asked all of these questions, and of course he responded to each and every question. I then took that document and sent it to Joshua, to our city attorney, Joshua Katz with Bickerstaff. And he said, we're going to go back to the drawing board. Looks like we have to go back to the drawing board and pursue other options. The other options are hiring a contracted code enforcement officer to enforce our own code, seeking out a judge that can come here and hold court at our city hall. And so we're looking at all other avenues with which we can pursue and at a lower rate. Even if we had to incur the $5,000 per month or what have you for a limited time, then we can justify that. $60,000 a year per year for every year is an astronomical cost for a city our size. We're planning on expending twice that for a road that will last us many years and that's direly needed at this point. Not to say that code enforcement, it is a very important thing. It's sad, but 10% of perhaps of our homes, the 93, less than 10% are an issue, problematic.
And
We need to address it.
one thing I have concerns about is this particular thing really does focus just on environment.
Right.
And there are so many other codes we have that
Right.
need to be enforced and have nothing to do with the environment
Right,
and are just as important.
right.
And so I would never agree to spend $5,000 a month.
Examples,
So I'm just gonna let you
easement
know,
violations,
my vote.
the
would be no.
garbage, all these other things, the animals,
I would-
everything. Yes,
I would like to see, is it in writing specifically somewhere with Hayes County what the environmental office
Mhm.
does
Yeah.
enforce and,
yes.
okay. It's
I'd be happy to
strictly
send that email
environmental.
to you.
Yes.
It's strictly environmental.
It's
Yeah.
It's like
environmental.
mosquito testing. It's,
Yeah.
other things that could be an environmental code enforcement issue.
It's like stuff that is hazardous
Yes.
or environmentally
Environmental.
dangerous.
Overgrown grass, it's easement obstruction, so that could be like junked vehicles or trash piled up in the easement. It's any standing water,
For
it
mosquito.
it does address a lot of the concerns that we've seen residents bring up. But for $60,000, it certainly doesn't cover our entire city
So
code.
is that the only way they operate is with contracts? Because they
Yes.
can't, so they don't
Yes.
pay anybody
No.
turning information in and
No.
acting on that ever. It has to be with a contract.
Correct. They require memorandum of understanding, yes.
Okay.
I asked, can we try it?
That
A
one.
memorandum of
Yeah,
understanding, yeah.
no. They originally said an MOU,
And then
but
switch to the interlocal.
once we received the draft, they said that their legal department is going the interlocal route because there is a fee associated with it.
Now, even if I asked, can we do 3 months, 6 months, try it, let's see if we see improvement. If we're gonna expend half of that amount and we get the results that we have, and if people know that we're willing to spend the money.
Yeah.
And perhaps they'll take action and be proactive and clean everything up, then it was worth the 30,000. They would not be willing to split the contract. Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. So when you were talking to, was it Mountain City that has the misdemeanor one?
Yeah.
Have they had success actually pursuing it through that? Did they give you any details about like going that route?
No, I can have a meeting with them. We met with San Leanna first. We asked by email, very general, like how are you handling code enforcement? But I'd be happy to look further into that. I think with this route of going chapter 54 and the route of having an agreement with the sheriff's department is that they're kind of the enforcement then lies with another entity that
Yeah.
has a little more authority.
Yeah. Well, and then also with the chapter, whatever the
54.
54 lawsuit, are they then going after like a lien against their house? Like what is that?
They could,
They
yeah.
could, okay.
And then that would go for San Leanna, it goes to Travis County. So again, that process is then being handled by Travis County. San Leandro does also have an interlocal agreement with the city of Austin, but it doesn't, and it's for code enforcement, but what the city of Austin provides is basically the investigation. So they have a code enforcement officer come out, they will speak to a resident and say, hey, this is, not non-compliant, whatever they have going on, they'll send them a letter. But then at that point, it's still up to San Leandro to
Just do it.
remedy the situation.
Okay, and then a third question is, so with the non-MOU, the interlocal,
Right.
is there a way to request citation? Like, so would the people, whoever gets ticketed for violation, right? Like through that process, can we assign fees through that process so that that helps offset costs? As
I asked them also, if you assign fees or what have you, is it gonna offset in any way? The fee doesn't change. The fee does not change for
So
us.
who would be getting the money for the fine?
I would imagine Hayes County,
Hayes County.
they get it, so they charge.
So they're gonna get
Also,
60 plus
because it's
more?
gonna go to legal, it's gonna go to their,
Okay.
legal department, their
Well, I
judge
mean-
and what have you. It is a hefty,
Then at that point, it seems more reasonable to do like our own lawsuits through that, because, then
Yes
you
and
can at
no.
least ask for damages
yes
and
and
have
no.
the
Because
attorney.
with every lit, you get a counter lit. With every lit, you get counter lit.
Yeah,
A counterclaim, the counterclaim, where you have a big pockets theory, you have a bigger pocket than those that are sue us.
I think it's hard to prove the damages.
Right, yes, sir, give me one moment. You had a question?
Yes, did you ask what other cities they have this time of interlocal agreement with?
No, but I will ask them. They said that
They-
all cities that they do this type of work for,
All cities
they
are
charge them the flat.
same.
I know, I told them, we're very
1,000
small.
people.
We have 93 homes. We have a population of this size. I submit a counter and said, we're only talking about less than 10% of 93 homes. That's the gist of it. That's all that we need. We're not going to be a big burden to Hayes County, and for that astronomical price, is that really all you can do? And tried to negotiate with them, and they said, no,
Way back when I was
Mayor.
first mayor the second
Hi,
time,
Robert.
I talked to Walt Smith
Mhm.
and he indicated he was gonna get the environmental to just come out and enforce it.
Mhm.
It's just part of their county.
Right.
County.
So now with their budget shortfalls or alleged budget shortfalls, they're charging $60,000 flat rate annual fee for any type of environmental code enforcement.
I did look at Mountain City's
Mhm.
agenda packet,
Mhm.
and they are very aggressive in it,
Right.
enforcing their ordinance.
Right.
And they have in their backup, like each resident that is in violation,
Yeah.
they document
Go to
what they
Stanley.
did,
Right.
each date, what
Right,
the result was, and there are a lot of or there were some absentee owners.
Right.
And so they work really hard at that, and
we should.
I would really suggest we try to work with the city of Utah and see if they would help us with either contracting with them to have a code enforcement officer enforce our city codes, or they could recommend somebody that would want to do it on a
contracted basis.
contract basis.
But we need to,
We
Hire a
need
contract labor.
not only to address the one resident, but there's so many
Right.
homes with just cars, and it's just
we have to inspect every house. Every house needs to be inspected.
all this
Right.
is hurts our home value.
Correct. I agree.
I agree.
We all agree, and we are looking into all other options. Yes, please.
You mentioned, local with the city of Austin.
That's San Leandro.
Has an interlocal with the city of Austin, but it provides purely documentation. City of Austin will come in and do the investigative portion, but it's ultimately still up to San Leandro to
Filed.
1,000 or 1,500 for the year. And
Oh,
that's
dear.
why
$1,500.
But again, they're documented.
Right.
How
that
much
was
a year?
documented. 1,500 for documentation only.
A year.
When we met with her, she says on your typical resident basis, it works just because it's as like
It's a deterrent.
threat, or
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best word for it. So for the bulk of the situations, it works because the health person shows
Yeah.
up and people, get nervous.
It's
So
like us with animal control. If they pay you a visit, you're gonna take action or be fined or what have you.
for one case where it doesn't work, that was where the lawsuit was.
The 54. Right. Yes, sir.
Another suggestion is, one of our city employees could look into becoming a code enforcement officer. What kind of education, how difficult is it to get whatever it is certified or, become a trained code enforcement officer?
I think we need a outside contractor to come in and work for us, and we have a contract and their scope and to do the code enforcement. We don't want, a resident to be
I would recommend arm's length transaction also.
target,
Right.
because that's bad feelings. So we have hired a company or a person in that company that is consistent and does the work, then our people.
If it's one of our own residents, they'll become the target of backlash and what have you. Need to increase their security, things like that. Yes, ma'am.
Typically, that did happen in the city of Hayes. There used to be a constable, and that was one of the things he could do, was ticket people for code violations and things, and it did not go well. People were felt threatened
Yeah.
a lot, and he was a big guy.
Tiny.
Right.
That's what we would have to, if we do pursue that route, it is best to do it outside of our city of Hayes, hire outside help. And have someone come in
We
and
have to,
do the court enforcement.
that's research with prices and
Yes.
stuff like that. We need to.
They've been researching, both Christine and Megan.
That's why I brought this in.
Thank you.
Because it's, of course, we have front row seat, and it's getting worse and worse daily.
What I'm saying, there's a twofold. One is higher than code enforcement and doing investigation, and then we do the procedure process of enforcing it. So there's two
Right.
parts that they have to go through.
Right.
And whether we
Which
go
would go to the
lawsuit,
code enforcement officer and the judge. We need both.
we go through the lawsuit, or we go through some other path that required. But then also, there's some, I read the code, this kind of fee that we can charge the residents if they continue to. I remember reading the code.
Right. So we would just need the officer to enforce our own code, or we could update our code. But then it needs to go to a judge, which we also need a judge to house here.
I don't know about outdated. I don't even have to be outdated. Just follow the code as is right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you, Hannah.
I was just gonna say, I think that given this information and given like what other places are doing, I think that it makes the most sense to just one, talk to Hayes County, or talk to, not Hayes County, I'm sorry,
did
like the judges in like Buda or like elsewhere who might be able to sit for us, and then assign our own fee structure. So like figure out what it would cost to hire a judge, figure out what it would cost to have like a third party agency like act as that, and then set out a fee schedule that would cover that, so that when people do get fined or we do utilize their
offset.
services, it offsets that, because it's going to cost us no matter what. But I think that's our best bet of like spending the least amount, because we can assign it, and then we can also assign a lien if they don't pay it.
Right. Even if we don't meet the offset per se, it's still an investment in our city, the beautification of our city, or the tranquility of our city, getting our homes back.
And we were trying to do this a few years ago. Beth Smith had already agreed to be our
Right. There,
judge.
Harvey has said that.
Yeah, and
Is she still practicing?
yes, and City of Buda had offered a courtroom, but then that they backed down on that too, because they said they had so much going on just for
No
themselves,
backlog.
they had no space, So,
She could come here.
but
We'll just need to hire a code enforcement officer.
right, I just saying that it might not be that hard to get somebody to offer.
There's a company that does code enforcement. We could check with the company,
True.
contract with them, bring it to council. We can research which code enforcement companies are available. if the judge is available, if it's
And
whether
if she's willing to come here.
she's willing to come here, and at
That's
what
big.
rate, right, what hourly rate? We only need to hold court once a week or maybe once a month, even once a month.
If that.
Yeah.
If that, because I think once it goes into effect, once we can make it go into effect,
Curtail the issues
Well,
that we know.
it's the pressure of like, no, actually things are happening, and it's
Right.
not like this nebulous thing that's out there that nobody
Right.
does anything about.
Rules with no arm to enforce.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, does
So-
anyone else have any comments?
Well, our
The action items for
secretary
state
and city
secretary.
manager have been doing it and are gonna continue. That
And
would
so
be
they'll
great.
take your feedback today. They'll continue to look for that research, code enforcement offices, officers, companies that do code enforcement. To enforce our own code. And if we can look for the judge or a judge, if the judge is not available, the one you mentioned, that's Smith. If she's available, if we can hold court here once a month, at what rate can we do that? And then pick other options as well.
Yeah, I just really appreciate this conversation going on tonight.
Oh, yes, sir. We're trying to do the best for the city. As the council that,
I totally understand.
right,
I mean, I know it's hard.
absolutely necessary though. A lot of the things that have been going on are very hard. We're like, and on that note, if we don't have any more comments, we'll get to M.
And
Close out. Yes, sir.
Well, a lot of good ideas have been thrown out, and
Yes, sir.
I would suggest that maybe staff kind of give you maybe a written for each week
They have been,
about what,
yes. They have been
what
providing that
happened.
already. Yes.
and so that we kind of have some documentation of what we're doing and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
what progress we're making.
We're very fortunate that they do provide updates as they are received.
Yeah.
Written updates.
Written
Yeah.
updates. I receive written email
Right,
updates
they're-
from both
She's
CC.
copied, the mayor's copied on
Yeah.
all communications, so when we've been in communication with Mountain City, in communication with Rebecca Howe, she sees
I get every single comment.
all of the.
And then we go the next one and then the next one and then bring it here so that then we can have a feedback and direction because it is the council who decides.
I also believe that after the elections,
Mhm.
that we will probably have a commissioner in our precinct that would
May be helpful.
more helpful. Because my suspicion is that,
I don't know if
for
we
some
can,
reason, we've
do
gotten
that.
on the wrong side of Hayes County because the idea of charging us $5,000 a month and you gotta sign up for at least a year is
Right.
is
Just beyond.
not,
Right.
Ludicrous.
that's steep. I know they did say that
it's
they
saying.
want
we
for
don't
everyone
wanna-
to take
we don't
care of their
wanna
costs.
do it.
That's exactly.
Yeah, they don't want to absorb our costs, in other words. They don't want to absorb our costs through their budget. They want us to pay our share. And so we'll look into other options. Does anyone else have any questions regarding that topic? Consider and take appropriate action regarding possible interlocal MOU with Hayes County to enforce certain county rules within the city of Hayes. Any other comments? Thank you. The last item, last but not least, receive an update from the HB 500 Grant Committee and take appropriate action regarding possible grant applications to assist in water projects. Christine Don has the floor.
City of Hayes successfully submitted their water supply and infrastructure grant to the Texas Water Development Board on July 29th. Grant work assisted us, their application specialists assisted putting the application together. The complete application was then sent out to us. We had a roundtable, myself, the mayor, city secretary, where we reviewed the application, which is about 165 pages. We found a couple items that we asked them to update. So after the full review, that was then submitted. A couple numbers, the grant award amount requested was $314,260. Of course, whether or not we receive this award is primarily being determined on the AMHI, the average medium household income. That paired with if you had a ready to proceed project, you were given bonus points. Our combined AMHI, so the city of Hayes as well as Elliott Ranch, was $79,625. GrantWorks did tell us that our placement was low, that was their feedback. It may be a long shot, but we did successfully submit our application. I believe fall is when we'll begin receiving award notifications. So we should have some information on whether or not we receive this award by the end of the year. Yes, sir.
And is this money just state money?
Yes.
So the federal government's not
Yeah, it's a
Texas,
got one less layer.
yeah,
deal.
Texas Water Development Board.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions regarding the grant application process? The amount or anything like that? Thank you. Before we end our meeting today, before I ask for a motion to end the meeting, I would like to acknowledge Mayor E. Harvey, Treasurer Davis's work. I know he worked many hours on the budget for fiscal year 2027. And Christine and Megan have been working diligently every single day on a vast list of projects.
Thank you.
And I'm very grateful for all of y'all. Mayor Harvey, I asked him 2 days in a row. Sir, I have some questions. Can you stop by? He's here. I think one day we met for a little over an hour and a half. Monday, then Tuesday, I have another round of questions. This is my first year serving in this role, and I'm so grateful for his help with the budget and all of the process. It's a lengthy process, and so he guided us through everything, did a lot of work very early in the morning. While we were sleeping, he was working at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and so it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Mayor Harvey, for everything that you do for the city. And Megan and Christine, I'm so grateful for all of your work. Everything, every update, I get update after update after update. And a reminder, don't forget to call so-and-so, don't forget this is on the list, and your copy is on your desk and what have you, and it's runs like clockwork. Thank y'all so much. And they're celebrating birthdays, August 22nd, August 25th. And so happy birthday to both of you. And thank you for everything you do. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Let's see.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, Richard.
Thank you. Second,
I second that.
all those in favor? Thank you very much. Pardon me. I'm sorry.
I was trying to vote, that's all.
We're like, sir,